Welcome back to FTB Infinity, Expert Mode. I'm CZSurvivor, and today I've got a few things planned. First of all, we're going to work on some mob spawning and capturing mobs for specific uses. That specific use would be the production of dimensional transceivers. So if we look at dimensional transceivers, everything doesn't look too bad. Everything I can autocraft, except for the soul vial containing an Enderman. I've got the auto-crafting recipe for the soul binder all set up. I just need a way to catch the Enderman. Now to do this, that's going to be nice and simple. We are first going to get a piece of... Ooh, I need to check. Nope. I just forgot one thing for this. It's obsidian, right? For the rod. Yes, I need obsidian. Nope. Put you away. Yoink. And we'll now just quickly craft ourselves this. Look, right, etheric sword, and now we can put this use in creating the sword of the wyvern, which will be very useful, and I'll show you that in a bit. But first we've got a few things around the base. First of all, we have added auto-crafting for the, I forgot its name, Terrasteel, and I've also added auto-crafting for mana diamonds and mana pearls. This is all set up. This isn't active yet. I've still set the auto-crafting for that. And I think that's everything. Oh, right, yeah. Here is the auto-crafting for free blazing ender and lapis electrum tubes. And here is the soul binder thing. It's just sucking in XP from over here and outputting and pulling items out of the ME interface, which is pretty nice. We are back, and let's have a look how this draconium sword functions. Now you need to go into your configs and change one of the controls, probably, because it's probably conflicting with something. Basically, if we come to draconium there, you want tool and armor config GUI. I've bound that to be 0 because I've got nothing. I'm going to click on this sword, I'm going to click on inventory, and now we're going to enchant it. So we're going to give it sharpness, looting, and soulbound, which means this will get those effects, and you can take them off in the future, which is nice. Now, also in this GUI, you can also change, its AoE attack. So you've got a 1x1 and a 3x3. I'm going to leave it on 3x3 for now. And what I want to do is I want to kill a bunch of these until I acquire something called a mob soul. I also want to do that with Enderman, and then once I've done that, we can actually start spawning mobs for free and incredibly powerfully. So I'll be back in a bit. So the chance of a mob dropping a mob soul is 1 in 1,000. So for now, I've just switched over to Enderman to focus on them because they're a little more prominent at this point that I need. So we're just going to slaughter those for a while, and then go on to the wither skeletons. So, a few more things. One, I moved to the end, realising that, hello, there are more Endermen in the end. Also, there is an enchantment to help with collecting mob souls. You may also notice that I've turned off mob sounds, you know, because mobs are pretty loud. And that enchantment would be, inventory, Reaper. So yeah, I found a Reaper 2 in my base, in my thing, so I just like farm created the thing using that thing from, oh, not Botania, no, Bibliocraft, that allows you to recreate them. So hopefully we'll get a mob soul very soon. If not, oh well. The achievement Reaper, which I guess is this little thing here, the Enderman soul. Enderman mob soul. That's annoying that won't put that there so I can read it. You can stabilize mob spawners. So we now need to find a mob spawner that we haven't destroyed, just sat in the world. Okay, then, once you've found yourself a mob spawner, you need to take a draconium core, right click on it, and we get a stabilized mob spawner. We can now safely break this, and we can move it around freely without having to worry. Now, just to let you know, there are upgrades you can put in this thing to make it better, and you can also put in a mob soul. Now, you can keep on breaking it and moving it. However, when you break and move it with a mob soul in, you lose said mob soul and you have to insert a new mob soul, which is slightly annoying, I know, but we have it now. So let's get back to here and we can put this to use. So to get this started, we need to make a few things. First of all, we need to make ourselves that, and that's going to start filling up with XP now. So whilst that does, we need the obelisk of a tractor obelisk, I mean, not the other way around, and we need that. Wait, how is it spelled? Oh, I didn't spell it right. Let's see, how's it spelled? Enticing. So when it comes through, we can make ourselves the attractor obelisk. And it comes through. And now it's come through, we can now make the attractor obelisk. Now draws mobs towards it, specify the mob to place by placing their souls within the device. We'll do that in a second. So what I'm thinking is, we're going to have about 3 mobs we're going to want to spawn. We're going to want to spawn the Enderman, the Wither Skeleton, and Wisps. So we're going to start off with the Enderman, because it's something that I actually need. And I'm thinking of going with something like this. I'm going to put them behind this platform here. This platform is going to be storage. It's got some space back here, so why not use it? Now, these things work in the same area as a regular mob spawner, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, corner. Oops, helps if I can place. And we just want to work on that. So I'm going to set this up and we'll be back. What do we want to do to get this functional? Well, first of all, I'm going to stick a dynamism table. I'm going to go on the inside because it places towards me, doesn't it? Yep. I want to set it to right click. Then I want to seal that back up. I want to come under here and I want to add some item conduits, which I have forgot most of. Actually, is there enough space to do it here? Yes, there should be, except for I'm going to change this out to be like this. So I want you there. I want to go get the rest of my conduits, because forgetting them isn't good. Conduit, you'll do nicely. And we'll come over here. So on here, I want to add a filter. Where did I put my filter? There. And I want to blacklist soul vials. This makes life a lot easier. I want it always active. Then above it, I want an ME interface, and then I'm going to need some of the special ME conduit that works with this. Of course, I always forget something. Don't plan everything out perfectly. Conduit, do we have one? Ah, yes, we do. Perfect. Right. And we'll slap one of these here. So underneath we want to get this, and we want it in from the top, out from the bottom. We then want to slap a bunch of these along here, and we want to go, let's see, can I grab my wrench? And we want to change it so we can see everything. I want to wrench up there. Good. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the center. Excellent. I'm going to need a bit more of this conduit. So we have it here. Now what I want to do is place down the stabilizer. Let's try that again. Now what I want to do is place the destabilized mob spawner here. To ignore spawn requirements. How do I... Let's see. Where is the Yeti wrench? I want to tell it to connect to that. Okay. So, does this activate on redstone signal or off redstone signal? I'm not sure. Redstone signal should be off currently if I just pop out here. Yeah, redstone signal is off. So, I've already got a crafting recipe for it. So let's see if I put the upgrades in, so the apple and the nether star, and we'll get basically 2 effects. It now ignores spawn rules, so light, and it also ignores the other spawn rule of players being nearby. So if I put this Enderman mob soul in, it should spawn anything. Okay, right, that's good to know. I probably don't want that many, so if I need to get a lever, see if that disables it. Hopefully it does, otherwise we got a problem. And I'll have to change my plan, which I don't want to, because that means I have to change a whole other stuff down the line that I've planned as well. Right click on that first. Connect. On. Mob spawner isn't spinning. Okay then. So that means we need a NOT gate. So what I'm going to do is say, when there is an item in here, turn on redstone. So we need a NOT gate to say, well, hey, we don't want this to run. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a lever here for manual turning off. I'm going to turn that off. And then we can see whether it'll work. We're almost ready to go. Let's stick down this obelisk here. Actually, let's tell it... disable that. So we've got this here. Show range. How far do you work? Ooh, that's annoying. What if actually I stick you here? Always active. Show range. Ooh, that's just one too short, which is annoying. Wait, no. Kinda? Okay, let's just quickly grab a new block that I haven't used. I'm going to use conveyor belts, but not conveyor belts you've seen before. No, these conveyor belts. We need rails. Oh, I have a bunch of rails in here as well. So I replaced everything with conveyor belts instead, since they seem better, and because the attractor with this requires power and I think the power I'm going to see how conveyor belts work. So what we need to do is we need to see whether telling it to craft a soul vial works. So there's an item in here. You are emitting redstone signal. Does it actually emit redstone signals into wire directly? Ooh, that might be a problem. Let's just go quickly get a block and some regular redstone. So, redstone and no, cobble will do nicely. We can give it a test. Hopefully this works. So what we want to do is we need you there, break you, and you. You actually emitting redstone is the question. And all I'm going to say is this was a lot more complicated than what I first thought it would be. So let's go over how this thing all functions, because oh man, I've moved the soul binder over here. I'll explain why in a second. So first of all, I've got a machine inventory manager, Steve's factory thing, controlling everything. So first of all, this bit here will move soul vials that fill up in here into an autonomous activator. You can't use the dynamism table, it glitches out, it spams error messages, and it infinitely just creates soul vials, spamming them on the floor, which is cheaty. I don't want, and it's also just keeps spamming error messages, which isn't good. So got that, and over here we've got our conditions. So this condition checks if the autonomous activator contains a soul vial. If it does, it turns on the redstone here, activating the spawner, and turns on the redstone here, deactivating the mob grinder. Then once it gets a soul vial in it, it turns off the spawner and turns off the redstone to this, turning on the grinder, which kills any excess Enderman that spawn, which is nice and simple. Now there's one thing I've realised. Input, oops, is this, that's that one, that's that one. I need that to output to the, not the, right. So what it does is if I put a soul vial in here, takes it, puts it in here, spawner spins up as you can see, Bit slow to spin up, I know, but yeah. I could make it faster, but that means it spawns more mobs, which is annoying in the long run. Come on. So it captures one of them. Then the grinder will click in and start killing them. And the soul vial will go into here. Now, the reason for it immediately going to here, rather than into the area network, is just that the soul vial is very complicated with its metadata. And if the Enderman has a different amount of health, let's say it spawned right at the top and fell all the way down, I cannot get it to export with a fuzzy export bus into the soul vial thing, which is annoying. So what I've done is just bring it over here, and then I've got the crafting telling it one vibrant crystal creates one ender crystal and just sticks it in there and outputs to there, which is pretty nice, I think. Quite messy, I have to say, but it functions. That was a lot more complicated, and all the drops just get trashed immediately because I don't want to have to deal with them. We'll get more than enough drops when I set up the... I forgot its name. It'll come to me in a minute. The blood altar in this dimension. Yoink. Right, so what you just saw me do was use the teleposer to move a wisp spawner. I have then right-clicked it with the Dragonic Core. The reason for moving the wisp spawner first is when you break a mob spawner, it loses the soul in it. This way I keep the soul and I don't have to farm its soul, fortunately. So, what I'm going to do in this room here, as you can see, is go with these grinders, and it covers the entire thing, which is pretty nice, so we'll completely kill everything that's in here. Now, we're also going to do a wither skeleton spawner. You may notice that I have two wither skeletons. I may have been watching a video and kind of not been paying attention, but hey, we got it. So I'm going to set these up and then we'll be back. Right, so I just remembered something. It is known as the corporeal attractor. Used it last episode. We want it pulling and we need a redstone signal. Yay. You know what? We can kidnap this. Put you for now. Put you on there, and we stick this. That's annoying. We need a block. Oh wait, I have a factory block on me. My mistake. This should, if I remember correctly, pull all the mobs towards it. So, oops. What might be a smarter idea is if I stick it, where am I? Here, and add the redstone signal here. It should pull all the mobs to here, which is nice. Then this grinder can slaughter them, and you may notice that this is the most beautiful storage system ever for Ethereal Essence, just because of how it does it. What I'm going to do is put void upgrades on all these, so once it gets full, it just destroys them. Because why not? And I also have to hook up power. This will slowly get populated once I stick on the void things. It'll be nice easy. Now you must remember primal aspects are the most common, which is these 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to get lots of them, but this system is working good. Now the puppet skeleton I'm going to set up between this episode and next because I've run out of time for today's episode. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did so, hit that like button. Got any comments, questions, drop them down in the comments section below. I'll answer whenever possible. New channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, stay well, and Survivor out. I think I said that wrong. Okay.
In my life, to get it right, know when to fight.